Have you ever been called to rescue ducklings in pools? Did you try to catch the adults who flew off and you were left with a basket full of ducklings to raise? There had to be a better way. Do they need rescuing or not? For the last 6 years, I have observed the ducks nesting around my backyard pool, and I soon realised they know what they're doing, and are we just interfering when we don't need to? My name is Kim, and I have been a wildlife rehabilitator for the last 15 years. As habitat disappears, many Pacific black ducks rely on backyard swimming pools for nesting locations. Nesting season is from July to October, but due to a changing climate, we can see them nesting from May. Ducklings are precocial, meaning they can eat, walk and swim within 24 hours after hatching, but rely on their parents for warmth and security. Once hatched, the mother duck will take her ducklings to the nearest waterway. I have found that most people are quite happy for ducks to nest in their yard if they have some information on behaviour and know what to do once the ducklings hatch. So I give them some information and a plan and ask them to contact me if the ducks have not left within 48 hours after hatching. Then I will come back and relocate the ducks. Pacific black ducks make a cup-like nest on the ground and use feathers to line them. They are attracted to the safety in the thick shrubs planted around many backyard swimming pools. This is my resident female's favourite nesting spot. It's a quiet spot over the other side of the pool. Once they start making the nest, you will notice feathers floating around the pool. This is one of the first indications the ducks are getting ready to nest. Both male and female will visit, but the female is responsible for building the nest and incubating. The female duck lays a clutch of 7 to 13 white oval eggs. Once all eggs are laid, incubation begins and takes around 28 days. The male will stay around the pool during the day while the female sits on the nest. At night, the female covers the nest with leaf litter and feathers to keep them warm and the nest invisible, and they go to feed. Once hatched, the ducklings will go into the pool for safety. I place a few ramps around the pool so that the ducklings can exit. It doesn't take long for the ducklings to figure out how to use them. This ramp is simple, made from a piece of wood and a brick to keep it in place. Another ramp made from a non-slip tile. When it's time to get out of the water, the female duck takes them over to the ramp. Ducklings may die quickly from hypothermia if they cannot get out of the water, as even though they are somewhat independent, they are not waterproof. The female duck keeps them warm and provides their safety. Another way is to raise the level of the pool water so that ducklings can climb or jump out of the water. Commercially available ramps can be left in the pool at all times for other wildlife and insects to use. Young ducklings feed exclusively on aquatic insects, so they will need to move on within 24 to 48 hours. The egg yolks the ducklings have absorbed before hatching will only last them a few days. In the first instance, I do not try to catch the ducks to relocate them, as there is a potential for the adults to fly away and you will be left to raise the ducklings. I just leave open any gates so the adults and ducklings can walk to the nearest wetlands and keep pets away. If this does not happen within 24 to 48 hours after hatching, you can either catch the adults first or catch the ducklings and see if the adults will follow you to the nearest waterway. I have followed some of my ducks once they left, as I was curious to see where they go, and I was happy to see that they did go to a nature reserve close to my home. They did have to cross some roads to get to it, but all the motor vehicles stopped to let them cross in safety. This may not always be the case, especially for main roads, but it was really nice to see. So in summary, 28 days for incubation, place ramps in the pool for ducklings to get out of the water, lock up any pets, Open the gates so adults can walk out with their ducklings, and ducks should be gone within 24 to 48 hours after hatching.